I'm going to show you how to use Claude Code. Now, we've talked a lot about Claude itself and being able to generate single HTML files, but there may be times where you need to create a little bit more complex of a tool. So if you come into Claude, let me just go to claude.ai. There's a couple different ways that you can do this, and I'm going to log in real quick. Now, while you can create single HTML files in the regular Claude account, this will need the Pro account, which is the $20 a month plan. And when you do that, you're able to take advantage of Claude Code. Now, Claude Code allows you to get more complex with your different applications. So if I'm creating something like a to-do list application where it uses like a database, or where it takes advantage of like Vercel's database, or it uses like additional files like React or something like that. This is where I'd want to take advantage of Claude Code. So you can do this in a couple different ways. So you can do this as a command prompt, but if you come into here, let's go into the left-hand side here. This is where you can come into code. Now inside of Claude Code, this will give you some additional options. So you could tie this to a repository, which is using GitHub. So if you're using like Lovable, for example, you could just tie that to GitHub, and then you can bring that in and you can continue. If you run out of your Lovable credits, you can continue inside of Claude. So that's one way. If I click on this, I can just target right here, my certificate generator. I can target that and just continue to add on to it, to iterate, push it back to Lovable as well. So that is one thing that you can do, but if you're using the desktop app, you can also do something additionally. So I'm going to just close that out real quick, and I'm going to create a folder. Because it creates multiple files, I'm going to create a folder on my desktop. And so this is going to be my learning interaction, and we're going to use one of my prompts from the prompt library here. If you haven't checked out my video, go ahead and check out my video in the link up above here. This will show you the tool, the prompts tool that I have to keep track of different learning interaction prompts and to create your own prompts and share them with the community as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go to prompts.learningdojo.app. Now in here, let's find a prompt that we can do. Let's create this process sequencer here. So if I click on copy, it's going to ask me for a topic. So new hire orientation. We're going to keep it generic for now, and you can change this however you want, and I'll click on copy. Now what I'll do is I'll come into my desktop Claude application. Now in my desktop Claude application, I can go into the code tab up on top. Now this is where I can go in and I can still do GitHub if I wanted to, but I'm going to click allow here. I can still do GitHub, so it will have these repositories, but I can also select a folder. So these are different folders that I've used Claude Code for. So I can have like my CSS, my JavaScript different. I can have images, I can have video, like local video files, and I can continue on that. It gets a little bit more complex than that single HTML file that I've worked with in the past here. So I'm going to click on choose different folder, and then I'm going to go to my desktop and click on this learning interaction. Now, if I just paste in that prompt, create an HTML file, drag and drop sequence. Now, I don't need to define HTML, but what we can do is say HTML drag and drop sequence of a new hire orientation. Show 6 to 8 steps as well. Let's just define in our prompt, keep the CSS in a separate file and the JavaScript in a separate file. Let me go ahead and hit enter. And you will have to trust the workspace, and that's fine. And you may have to click allow there and allow it for writing, which you can do allow once, or you can do always allow for this session. So it won't prompt you every single time. So that's one of the main reasons. Hopefully you kind of see the benefit of using this. And you can still upload this to Rise if it's not using like a full database or something like that. Even if it is, you probably still could. But you can still upload this to Rise even if it has several files. You actually package that as a zipped file and upload it there. So if you want to check out, Destry talks about that as well. If you want to check out his video, you can check that out. But I'm going to go ahead and let this create or let this run and show you the difference and how you start to iterate on this as well once this is done. Okay, so all files have been created. We can preview it up on the top right-hand side. And this will preview our HTML here. So setting up the preview. It works a little bit different because it actually gives us a full browser. I'm going to go ahead and as that's previewing, I'm going to just open up the folder. So you can see there's our HTML, there's our JavaScript, and there's our CSS. It's just a lot cleaner. as far as that goes. So I'm going to allow notifications for Claude as well. But let's go ahead and say allow for this session, and then hopefully the interaction pulls up here in a second. Again, this is completely optional. If you did not want to create several files, you wanted to keep it as that single HTML file that you can just copy and paste into Storyline, you don't have to do this. But if you're hitting that limit of the single HTML file, or if you're going to host this somewhere else, I would definitely separate out your code, and I would basically use this to create several different files. Or if you're going to use React or something like that, I would definitely do something like that. Okay, let's go ahead, and it's asking us which server would you like to start. Let's just choose one of those servers. Oh, let's do node static. So let's just go ahead and hit submit here. And there we go. It also gives us this console down below, which allows us to see if there's any type of like errors or anything like that. So this is a lot more complex than we get with our single HTML file. We have our code separated as well, and it's pulling it up inside of a browser. So now I can see how it responds at the different on the different devices as well. Now you could do that if you just resize it like that as well. So, I mean, there's that option. You can also change it from light to dark mode if you did have that inside of your code. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and click and drag these into the various areas and just test that out. If you wanted to do like a portfolio and you have several different pages inside of your portfolio, if you did it as a single HTML file, and you had those different pages in a single HTML file, it could get really complex and really large, which means when the person is initially loading the first page, it's going to take forever to load that page. If you have even like a slide, custom slide interaction or something like that, and you have like 35 slides that they're loading in that single HTML file, could get pretty overwhelming. So this is why you'd want to separate it out, maybe have each page be a separate HTML file, things like that, and keep all of your CSS in one location. It just gets, it could get complex with that single HTML, and this is just an option for you. If this is well beyond what you want to do, you can ignore this video, just go on over to the single HTML files and stick with that for now. But I just wanted to show you this option, and now you can come in and say, let's change this to a dark theme. And you can go in and you can iterate on this. And you can also come back into this project and open this project back up. Just like we saw when we first started the project, we have that drop-down box that we can go back into other projects. And you can store that project on your desktop. So you're not storing it inside of Claude, trying to figure out, okay, what chat did I have this open in? You can actually just have it open in your desktop and just continue to work on it from there. So there are definitely some use cases for using Claude Code there, and you don't have to get into the command prompt and complex steps to be able to do this. You don't even have to use things like cursor. You can use cursor if you wanted to. You could use Visual Studio Code. You can do that, but you can just stick right within the Claude desktop and just edit and multiple files right inside of that desktop. So there we go. It now is changed it to the dark theme. So I can go back in just like I'm used to being able to prompt and iterate here. And let's close this out. So let's close Claude out. And if I go back into Claude Code, and so let's go back into the code tab here. All I have to do is click on Learning Interaction, or let's say Preview. If it's not on Learning Interaction, I can just choose what folder I want to work in. So let's say Preview this Learning Interaction, and now it will launch the preview again. So over on the right hand side, I can click on preview and it will go through and launch that for me in a second here. So that's how you use Claude Code. That is just scratching the surface. It is part of the Pro plan, so you have to make sure that you are subscribed to that. It is a little bit more complex than just the single HTML file, but it offers a lot of benefits here. Like I mentioned, you don't have to get this deep into Claude Code and creating multiple files and things like that. But if you start to run into some of those struggles with that single HTML file, you definitely want to check this out. After a couple different prompts I just had to allow there, we now have our interaction pulled back up exactly where we left it off, and we can continue to iterate, we can continue to add to it as well. There are definitely some projects where I take advantage of this. Some other projects like learning interactions, simple learning interactions, that I don't. So if you need it, great, it's there. If you wanted to expand upon Lovable, you can bring in a Lovable GitHub and you continue to iterate even after you've run out of Lovable credits. If you want to check out more, you can head on over to my website at vibedojo.ninja. You can check out full courses covering everything from A to Z in vibe coding fundamentals. You can also do the AI assistant. You can do JavaScript and storyline course as well. You can also check out the prompts. I'll leave a link in the description below to our prompts app where you can check out various different learning prompts there. If you like this video, head on over to our YouTube channel, click the like button, subscribe to our channel, as well as hit the bell notification so you get notified of all future videos as they come out. That really helps our channel, allows us to reach more learning developers like yourself that want to take advantage of this vibe code. That's all I have for today, so thanks everyone. I'll see you next time.